Laredo, take us out.
Take her out.
All right. Every Friday night, join the fun and let's go off-world. Geek out with us live, where the nerdiness will thrive. Buckle up and let's go off-world. Toys, comics, pop culture news, movies and so much more. Matthew, Jesse, Curtis and Sean are your guides on this fun-filled tour. Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun and let's go off-world. Let's go off-world. Let's go off-world. Hey, hey, hey. Let's go off-world tonight.
Woo-hoo. It's Off-World. And like the song says, every Friday night, I'm here. This week, Jesse's here. No Sean. No Dooch. Maybe Dooch later. We don't know. He's running late. Joe's here, but Joe's not in the song. I thought we were fixing that, but
no,
apparently we didn't. So
yeah, it's all right.
Joe, how you doing?
Well, I was doing great until I got the hiccups like 30 seconds ago.
Ooh.
Excuse me.
Was it because you got so
Yeah,
aggravated at the song that your name's still not in there?
I'm not aggravated at all about that. It is a great song. Maybe adding my name to it would ruin the flow of the song. I don't know. I'm not a musician, but I am thrilled to be here. That song gets me pumped up every week. I'm ready to do this. Let's go off-world. Hell yes.
Beauty. Jesse, how you doing, sir?
Yes, I'm here.
You are.
Good.
That is true. That is true.
Is my timing finally like appropriate?
I think you're good now.
Okay.
But it says one knuckle shy, and what are you a knuckle shy of? A sandwich?
A knuckle sandwich.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
It's a song from a band I like from back in the day.
Oh, I thought it was like some sort of reference to Kevin.
Wow, man! You know, the more people talk about, the bigger it gets.
Oh, sorry.
So
I thought sorry, that's what I thought you were referencing. So
no, I mean that would be one knuckle too many.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we have got Dave working out there, Jeff Evans, Carlo is listening at work. Don't get in trouble, Carlo. Amber Gonzalez, the better of the two Gonzalezes, but they're both pretty fantastic. Let's just be honest. Guay Echevarria is out there. We got Eddie, Joel, and I think that's it for right now. So Dooch is supposed to be on the way. I hope so, because he's got the bracket that we're supposed to do tonight. Which we'll get to in a little bit, but we're going to basically be putting some action stars against one another. You guys may get to change the voting, because if we end up in a tie on our part, we're going to have to go to the chat. So be ready for the for that bracket if Dude shows up and he has it ready. But right now we're going to go to toy pickups, and we're going to start with Joe. So Joe, what do you got?
Oh, me. Well, actually, I had a pretty slow week until today when my figure Obscura showed up.
Woohoo!
I haven't got a chance. Yeah, I haven't got a chance to open them yet. But yeah, I'm super jazzed. These are here. Can't wait to check them out. So yeah, it was a slow week for pickups, but this was a great way to finish the week. I can't wait to dig into these. They look so cool. Even in the box.
Beautiful.
They are fantastic. Can't wait to dig them out and get them on display.
If anybody's wanting to watch a recording of an opening, Jesse did one the other night live. but it is over there on the Just Shelve It channel, and it was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. I was able to join and keep him company, and it was a lot of fun. So
It was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
Jesse, did you get
I
anything
watched
else
it. It
this
was
week?
good.
No.
Okay.
No,
All
I
right.
did.
I mean, I embiggened you, so
You did. I got this can of Baja Blast.
oh, very nice, very nice, awesome. Well, since we went through the toys that Joe didn't open and the toys that Jesse didn't have, we also have Wholesome Warlock in the chat. Kevin Hamilton, Van Johnson has showed up, and we've got the Let's Go Off-World podcast in there. So thanks everybody for joining. And I guess it's me then, and I'll try to go slow so that maybe dude shows up. I don't know. We'll see. I also got my all in. So I guess I did open mine though. Just spoiler alert. Mugs up.
Wait.
Cool mug. Love it.
Cheers.
Did notice no 4-H logo. No figure obscura logo. Just the two heads. So interesting, but it's a great mug. I think it's probably, like, quality wise, it's probably the best mug they've done. So much so that Darla stole it from me as soon as I pulled it out of the package. That's the first time I actually have gotten to touch it. So
It holds pencils really nice.
well, I think it's good for coffee too, because I think that's what she used it for.
I don't drink that garbage.
So here's my Anubis. Let me embiggen myself. Here's my Anubis. I did replace the paws and took the tail out and all that. I tried to make him look like the hieroglyphic or whatever, the art on the box. So I've got like his staff in the same position and have him holding this, and so I try to get that kind of same position for him. And then I did the same thing for Bastet. So replaced her feet and then gave her whatever that, I don't know what that is in her hand. Anybody know what that is? It's a what?
Sistrum.
It's a musical instrument.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So I gave her that and the basket so that she looks like on the box. And then I've got them displayed up on top of my DTOF. I got that NECA mummy set with it, and really like those little jars. I don't know what they're called. I don't know all the technical terms, but those little jar things are cool.
Canopic jars.
There you go.
And I have to fess up. The only reason that I know this stuff is because of the Euro Legions podcast. They went through a whole breakdown of it. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have known.
Gotcha. Yeah, I listened to them today, but I was in the shower, so I didn't like take notes or anything. And then this week I got, listen, nothing against the figure obscura. Awesome. I think probably the coolest figures that Four Horsemen has done. That doesn't mean it's my favorite because I have other favorites, but in terms of just the quality, I think it's probably the best thing they've done. I think it surpasses Monkey King. But this other thing I've been super excited for, some people aren't going to care, but it is the McFarlane blue and red electric Supermans. Yeah, I've been super excited about this. So this is the standard one. This is the platinum version. Got them both in. This one I was able to get from Big Bad Toy Store. This one I had to buy on eBay and pay a little bit more for it. But I am very happy to have these in my collection. They are going right on my Superman shelf. And I think they look really good. The only, and this is just a minor nitpick on the red one. So they did the plastic all is like red, but then they painted the white over it. So like on top of his, you're probably not even going to be able to see this, but on top of his shoulders, like, I don't know if they just didn't do enough layers of the white. I mean, we all know, we're all customizers. White is like a shitty color to paint with because you just have to do so many layers. Like you can see the red coming through on the shoulders. if you look closely. So it's not super noticeable. Like if I hold this out, a foot away from me, it's not super noticeable. But if you hold it pretty close, you can see it. So that kind of sucks. But like I said, really happy to have that guy in my collection. It was a short run in those comics where these things existed, but it's enough of a period that I was reading comics that it's important for me to have on my shelf. So really excited
I am
about
happy
that.
for you, Curtis.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Van, I don't know. I mean, we're talking about what Curtis picked up this week. We weren't just talking about Figure Obscura.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I picked up both of those this week. So that's the connection point, is that both of those things arrived this week for me. So,
and happy early birthday to 1/6 shooter Trevor Williams. His birthday is tomorrow, so I won't ask him how old he is, but old enough, I'm sure.
I almost put this. We've got a chat that we've just begun because of a new project that we're going to be talking about shortly with Trevor, and I almost put something in there today because my doctor has started me on this new medication, and the medication has a side effect, and one of the side effects is you have like really vivid dreams, right? And like you remember them. So like you wake up and you're like, you remember all the details. So last night I had this very long, vivid dream that Trevor, I found out that he used to be a stuntman for like several movies. And like he was showing me some footage where like he did this thing where he jumped off of a building and then had to like pull out his parachute at the last second and almost broke his legs and all this kind of stuff. And then he was telling me like all the movies he had been in. And it was just like a ton of movies that I knew from, over the last 10, 15 years. And I was like, how did I not know this? Like, I mean, I know his photography and everything, but how did I not know that he was a stuntman? So, but yeah, it was just a whole dream about Trevor being a stuntman. So I have no idea.
That dream isn't prophetic in some way, because I think Trevor's done everything else.
Maybe it is. I don't know. He can tell us if he's done any.
I would be surprised. I would be surprised if it wasn't true. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Surprised. Yeah.
So that was my dream last night. FYI, if anybody wants to like do the thing where you like evaluate the dream and tell me what it really means, feel free, throw that in the chat.
I was just going to say the new Fall Guy movie was based on Trevor's life, but Drive makes more sense.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kevin says he got his Gods of Egypt today. Also just picked up the new McFarlane Platinum Brainiac. Ooh, nice. Cool. Let's see what else.
Look at the big brain on
Trevor is
Brainiac.
25. I mean, he did a lot of stunt work for being only 25. Happy birthday, Cookie, for sure. Definitely. I think Trevor shares a birthday with Cookie. Let's see.
If you're stalling for time, we can just do this week in theaters without.
Well, I'm just reading the comments. Like, we got to acknowledge the chat.
No,
like,
I know.
People have taken time out of their Friday night to spend.
I was interjecting that in between you reading the comments.
I'm sorry, you were interjecting it.
Interjecting.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Cool. Well, let's see. Let me check the banners here. We don't have transmissions this week because Joe said that our fans don't ask questions and they're like the worst fans ever. I think I'm kind of, paraphrasing.
You might be misquoting me a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit, but that's basically what he said.
Basically.
Yeah. We do have Event Horizon. Jesse, did you have anything coming up that you would like to discuss?
I don't have anything to bring up on screen, but this week I know a lot of people, myself excluded, are really excited about Furiosa, the Mad Max sequel/prequel movie. Came out. Garfield movie, a new Garfield movie that nobody asked for, is out. Hitman with Glenn Powell is out, and a new Netflix movie with what's her face, Jennifer Lopez, called Atlas. is out today.
I actually just got back from the theaters. Me and Darla went to see Furiosa. So
I saw a text that you were going to the theater. I was going to make some sort of joke about like what play are you seeing, but I forgot to type it.
Gotcha. Still good though. Movie was awesome. I loved it. I don't want to just lightly say, oh, it's as good as Fury Road, but it was pretty freaking good. Like I would put it right up there. So I really enjoyed it. I did know Joe wanted to bring up Event Horizon last week, but we don't want to steal your segment. Plus, I knew that it was one that you would want to talk about. So Joe, you want to bring that one up, and we'll see what you guys have to talk about.
Just announced a new season of the Lord of the Rings of Power show. So season 2 was just announced. They had a trailer, and the trailer, I can't tell what's going on, but it looks like the special effects are very well done.
Yeah, I know what I saw, that and the Curtis's other show that he's probably looking forward to, House of the Dragon trailer, I think dropped the same day.
Yep.
Those two shows seem to be constantly in conflict at the same time. I don't have Maxo at the moment, so I'm not as excited about House of the Dragon, although I do look forward to watching that because I did like the first season. I am very excited about season 2 for Rings of Power. I know it's been getting mixed reviews from folks, but I really enjoyed it. It's one of those things I get to watch with my mom. With her being in Florida, me being here in Pennsylvania, it's a fun bit of stuff to share with her. So
yeah, I don't want to yuck your guys' yum, but that I watched the entire season, the first season, and it did not impress me at all. So I think I'll probably skip out on this one unless I start hearing from people that it's just, an amazing step forward from last season to this season, that it just got a lot better. So until I hear some glowing reviews, I think I'll probably skip out on that one because it just didn't do anything for me. So
that's fair.
But I'm happy that you guys are happy.
Well, they took a lot of the obscure Tolkien lore, like stuff from letters that he wrote and stuff that wasn't published, and then kind of took that as inspiration to do their own thing. And that was part of what was so fun for me, was seeing all these nods to stuff that wasn't part of The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings that I knew, that he had perhaps intended to be lore at some point. It was just, that was fun for me. I got to kind of nerd out over it, so I enjoyed that a lot.
Gotcha.
And the special effects were great. The acting was good. I thought the show was well put together. Most of the negatives that I saw on the internet about it seemed like, standard internet complaint stuff that just really isn't in my wheelhouse.
I think that had I not watched it week by week concurrent with House of the Dragon, I probably would have liked it more. But because I was watching them each week together, just naturally I compared the two, and House of the Dragon, in my opinion, was so far superior to Rings of Power that I wasn't nearly as excited for each episode. So, maybe if I wait and binge watch it, afterwards, when I'm not like waiting week by week, maybe it'll be a little bit better. But yeah, I didn't. No. It really didn't do anything for me. So,
that's fair.
We did get a $1.99 super chat. Van Johnson said he's running late. Wants to know if we could play the OffWorld song again. If
you stay till the end of the show, you will hear it.
Gotcha. So if you wait till the end, we won't even just do the musical one. We'll do like the full intro if you wait till the end. Let's see. Okay. Anything else, Event Horizon, or is that pretty much it?
That was really all I had for this week.
Is the Hitman movie based on the video games? Do you know?
No, it just looks like a new I don't think it has anything to do with the video games. I think it just has. I think it's more kind of like the Fall Guy, like the Hitman. Like I don't think it's Hitman. It's like the Hitman.
The Hitman. Yeah.
Yeah. It
Okay.
looks. It. I haven't watched any trailers for it, but it looks with Glenn Powell in it. It looks like it's. I don't think it's a romantic comedy, but it looks like more of kind of an action. Fun movie, not like a serious video game type adaptation.
Gotcha.
I gotcha. Fun murder.
I will say before we move off of Event Horizon, like I went to the movies for the first time in quite some time tonight, and this is going to sound hypocritical because I went there to watch Furiosa, which is, obviously a continuation of kind of the Mad Max world. So this is going to sound a little hypocritical, but I'll be damned if like every fucking preview isn't some sort of rehash of something from like 20, 30, 40 years ago. Like there's like no original ideas. Like every single thing that was they played for The Crow, and then they had the new Alien movie, and then they had the new take of Wizard of Oz with the Wicked, and it's like are there no new fucking ideas? Like we just got to keep rehashing shit over and over again. Like where's the new shit?
New ideas don't get people to go to the movie theater.
I don't know, man. It was rough, man. Every single like preview, like me and Darla are looking at each other like, that looks like fucking garbage. That looks terrible. So I don't know. Anyway, that was my little rant.
I hate to agree with Curtis, but I have to. I'm not saying that the new stuff looks like garbage. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of previews for stuff, but I miss original ideas. I miss movie studios taking chances on something new. I personally would like to see some new IPs out there, so that way, our kids have something to look back on, someday and be like, I remember that was new when I was a kid.
Van brought up this one, Twister. That was another preview that they had. They had a fucking Twister like remake. It's like first of all, go ahead. Tell me that you're gonna like this.
No. The first time I saw the trailer for it, I was disappointed because I love Twister, and Dooch is for some reason hiding in the background. I love Twister. It was the first like date I went on.
The parlor game.
No,
gotcha.
The movie. I love the movie Twister. I had a huge crush on Helen Hunt at the time. Whatever. I love that movie. So when I first saw the trailer for this Twisters, I was like, come on, same thing like you're saying, like nothing new. But then I realized it's a continuation. I don't think it
didn't look like it. It looked like the same fucking thing. Like they even used the same little ball things up into it, and yeah.
That's my point. I think because they're talking about innovating and like growing from 30 years ago or whatever. I think this is supposed to be like the next generation trying to improve that technology and all that stuff. So I'm willing to give it a chance. I don't have high hopes for it. I am going to give that one a chance. As you like to call it, a popcorn movie. But I agree. I do think the Alien movie looks pretty good. I'm excited for that one.
I haven't seen that one.
All right. I don't know.
I haven't seen.
Like
that
I said, I'm sitting there going to watch, a continuation of the Mad Max world. So I can't say too much shit about it, but like every single one, I'm like, where are the new things? There was one movie that, and I don't know, maybe it's a remake of something, but this Maxine or something that, I mean, it didn't look great, but at least it seemed like some sort of new concept. So I was
it's the third movie in a trilogy.
Okay. I don't know. There's maybe I don't know. Maybe there's no new ideas left. I don't know. It's like they took the same fucking movie writers from 30 years ago and they just got them in a room and they're making them write the same scripts over and over. So anyhow,
yeah, playing it safe. But I will say, me being me, since you brought up an Aliens movie, I'm going to suggest to anybody who is a fan of Aliens, if you haven't tried out the video game Alien Isolation, it is fantastic. If you like to be scared, this game will scare you. Terrifying. And the first 2 Alien movies were pretty good. It's better than anything that's been done since then. You actually play as Ripley's daughter, the one that they showed the picture of in the beginning of Aliens, and it is wonderfully terrifying. But if you have a weak heart, don't play it. It's really, really scary, but in a wonderful way.
Dylan says, seen trailers for Twister, A Quiet Place, Bad Boys, and Furiosa like 20 times in theaters, and I don't think I want to see any of them anymore. That was another one, Bad Boys. I'm like, first of all, I didn't even know Martin Lawrence was still alive. Like, has he done anything in 20 years? Like, what the fuck has he been doing?
Bad Boys 3?
I thought it was just had CGI.
I thought he was dead. I thought they dug him up out of the grave and threw him on the screen for Bad Boys, whatever, 6,000 or whatever this is.
This is 4.
Whatever.
Kind of looks like it.
I don't know. Anything to make Will Smith relevant again. All right. Well,
I'm not defending it. Like I like those movies. The third one, at least, I thought was different director. They tried to do something different, but it was forgettable. I have zero interest in this one.
Yeah. I will say the Quiet Place one. I think that's an interesting idea because I like those movies and I would like to see kind of how that started. So the fact that they're doing a prequel to it, to me, that seems interesting. But anyhow, I was going to do this week in theaters, but we've got Dooch here. So let's pull up Dooch. Hey, Dooch, how you doing, sir?
What's up, boys? How's it going?
We're doing all right. We did our toy pickups. We did Event Horizon. Did you have anything that you wanted to show for this week?
Nah, I ain't got shit.
Okay. Cool. Then are we ready for our, hold on one second, primary objective?
Absolutely.
All right. So, folks, we're going to do a little bracket format, and I'm going to have Dooch explain it in a second, but we're going to need your help. There's 4 of us here, and there's a good chance that something that these matchups are going to happen, and we're going to end up with a 2-2 vote, and we're going to need your help to break the tie. So stay awake, be around, help us out. But, dude, you want to explain what we're doing here?
All right. So we came up with another tournament bracket here. The premise behind this one is, what if our top action heroes were in a Mortal Kombat style tournament? So 2 action heroes enter the ring. One of them leaves and advances on to the next round. Each of the hosts put in 4 action heroes. Now, note that these are the actual characters. I.e., we could have Rambo, but we're not going to have Sylvester Stallone.
Gotcha.
So, and I want you guys to think about that too when you're thinking about who would win this fight. Is, these are the characters going up against each other.
And we didn't put too many caveats on this as far as lock ourselves into rules, because we didn't say like it has to be a quote unquote action movie, because some movies have some action, some comedy, some drama. So we didn't say that. The only real solid thing we said was no superpowers. Correct. So they can't have any sort of superpowers. They just got to be people.
Yep.
So
yeah. So basically it's whatever each of us felt an action hero was. Now we're going to go through yes, Jesse.
I want to say for the record, I somehow missed the whole Mortal Kombat tournament bracket of this, and I was just picking 4 of my favorite action heroes who I thought would be good on an adventure party. So I may have misunderstood the assignment. This will be interesting.
It still works the same way.
They just may get slaughtered pretty quickly, but okay.
I was going to say, I think at least one of my characters was like a range character, so I don't know how that's going to go in hand-to-hand combat.
And we are not. Well, we're going to try not to say who picked who, because I don't want to sway the chat in any way. But yeah, so we'll reveal the bracket.
You'll know who mine are.
Yeah.
I don't know. There might be a crossover. But yeah, so we'll reveal the rankings, which for this one I just did random seedings for the characters because
And by random you mean that you chose where they went, or like you actually rolled a die or something?
I literally randomized the list.
Okay, gotcha.
So, yep, I put everybody into a list, randomized it. That's their seating. So, yeah, we'll go by each bracket. We'll all vote who we think would win. And then if it comes down to a tie, whoever's winning in the chat will proceed to the next bracket. So,
and I don't really care about the whole. I mean, I think it's going to be pretty obvious on some of these who picked who. But I think we should have a discussion before we vote on how we think the fight would go or why we think it would go a certain way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. So let me bring up the bracket. All right. Let me run through the seatings here.
Yeah, we can't see that.
We've
At least I can't. Can you blow it up at all?
I can blow up the actual bracket, but the seating list stays the same. So,
okay. Can you blow up the bracket?
Yeah, I'll blow up the bracket.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Boom, enabled.
But so just for the seating, so number 1 seed, we've got John McClane from the Die Hard franchise.
Okay.
Number 2 is John Wick from the John Wick franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I probably should have kept my notes open because.
So we know the third one is not Dooch's pick.
I also don't want them to call it out because, but I didn't put the movies on here. Number 3 is Sophia, who is from, she's from John Wick 3. Then we've got number 4 is Jason Bourne from the Bourne franchise. Number 5 is Martin Riggs from Lethal Weapon. Number 6 seed is Aragorn, son of Arathorn from the Lord of the Rings franchise. Number 7 is El Duce, not me, a different El Duce. That's from Boondock Saints.
There's more than one.
Apparently. Number 8 is Harry Tasker. That is from True Lies. That is Arnold Schwarzenegger's character. Number 9 is Wade Garrett from the original Roadhouse. Number 10 is Ilsa Faust. She was from Mission Impossible. Number 11 is Ripley, star of the Aliens franchise. Number 12 is Doc Holliday from Tombstone. Number 13 is The Bride from Kill Bill. Number 14, we have Dutch from the first Predator movie. 15 is Ethan Hunt from the Mission Impossible saga. And number 16, we have Lee from Enter the Dragon.
Okay.
So pretty good range there.
Yeah, I mean, I think I know all of Jesse's picks.
All right, so we'll start. We'll go top down, but then we'll start the next person down every round. So Curtis will start the first round, Jesse will start the second, Joe, and then me. Make sense?
Gotcha.
All right, so number 1, we've got John McClane versus Lee.
I mean, for me, I've never seen Enter the Dragon. I mean, I'm guessing Lee is Bruce Lee's character.
What?
It is the Bruce Lee character, yes.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm guessing that character's kind of a badass. I like the Die Hard movies, but I never walked away from it thinking that John McClane was a badass. So, I mean, without even seeing Enter the Dragon, I would probably say Lee, just because I think that John McClane's kind of a wuss. But that would, yeah. That's my initial thought. That's not my vote. I'm just saying how I think it would go.
Okay, and then what is? Oh, so you want to do thoughts?
I think we should all talk about it, and then we should.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, Jesse.
I love John McClane, but I don't see him winning this fight. He might get a couple of good shots in while Lee is, giving him a chance. But Lee's coming out on top in this one.
Okay, Joe.
So John McClane, I love. One of my favorite things about the movie is the toughness, how realistic the fights are. He doesn't just, whoop everybody. He takes some hits. He's a tough dude. But I mean, Lee beats Chuck Norris. yeah, that's my argument right there. So
Yeah, I think I gotta go with you guys. Actually, it's just one of those things. John McClane is a badass, but like he needs a little bit more stealth. He needs a little bit more planning. Going right up against a karate champ is.
I think he can take
It's
a
gonna
lot
be
of
tough
damage,
for
and
him.
he has a lot of stamina.
Oh
but
yeah, for sure.
I don't think that his offensive output could match. Yeah,
Agreed.
So,
Yeah, he's situational badass in like the surroundings, the all of
Mhm.
that, but like one-on-one fist fight, like he'll hold his own for a while, and like Curtis said, take some hits.
Yep.
But yeah,
Okay, so are those our official votes?
I'm pulling this up. Van says, lots of M's. Can we get some parameters? What parameters are you looking for? It's two guys facing off.
Mortal Kombat style in the
whatever.
arena. Like
Who would
you
win?
You've seen Mortal Kombat, correct?
I don't know what kind of parameters you're looking for.
Right.
So explain as you would a child.
If all these guys were DLC characters in Mortal Kombat, who wins?
Well, he says like Aragorn, who's going to wait for a swordsman to run up on them. Well, maybe he doesn't just run directly to them. Maybe he comes out of somewhere. I don't know. We're going to talk about. I think in this
they start like
I mean,
4
yeah,
feet
like you
apart.
could say in this one here, like, okay, is Bruce Lee going to be able to stand up to John McClane's bullets? I think somehow he would still figure out a way to win that fight. So,
all right. So Curtis is going Lee.
Yeah,
Lee.
2 Lees. Lee. I'll go ahead and go Lee. We'll do the sweep there. Real quick before we move to the next one, somebody did. JG brought up an interesting point. No Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah, that is interesting.
I thought we would see some Jackie Chan as well, but
he was this close for me.
Mm.
Yeah, he was right there, but I couldn't put him on there. So
Jean-Claude was my alternate. I thought for sure we'd have some doubles, but we were really, really different. But
yeah, no doubles.
I had Bloodsport as my alternate in case we had a double. So it was right there.
All right, next up, Jesse's starting this one off. We've got Wade Garrett versus Harry Tasker. Excuse me.
Remind me who Harry Tasker is again.
That's Schwarzenegger in True Lies.
Okay,
The
gotcha.
super spy.
This one I think would be pretty close to a draw. I think they're both tough dudes. They got the reason to do what they do. I mean, obviously Harry's with his job and everything, he's got a certain set of skills. But I'm sorry. I think Wade Garrett's charm is going to win out in the end. And, I'm giving it to Wade.
Okay, Joe.
Who's Wade Garrett? What movie is that from?
That's Sam Elliott in Roadhouse. The mentor to Swayze's character.
Gotcha. So for me, I love Sam Elliott, but he's an old dude, and Schwarzenegger was just jacked during True Lies. So I'm going Tasker.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely be a good fight. Wade would definitely hold his own as long as he could, but Wade also even died in the Roadhouse movie. So, I think I got to give it to Harry here. I think he'll win out.
Yeah, I mean, I like Wade Garrett as a character, but even in that movie, like he had old knees, he was kind of fucked up. Like he was broken down at that point himself. So was he still? I mean, he could still kick my ass. But I think you get any kind of Arnold Schwarzenegger character gets their hands on somebody. I don't know, man. I think he's toast. And that I didn't know the name of the character, but that character from True Lies was kind of a badass. So I'm gonna have to go with Harry for the win.
All right, so that was Jesse for Wade, right?
Yep.
And then the rest of us, Harry. So Harry proceeds. All right, next up, we've got Martin Riggs versus Doc Holliday. Joe.
Man, you guys had to start me off with a tough one.
Mhm.
I love both of these characters so much, and they're both very impressive. Both very skilled gunsmen. I'm gonna have to. I guess since I have to pick someone, I'm gonna give the edge to Doc Holliday just on his quick draw skills. Martin Riggs is probably a better marksman, and I love the movie that he's in. But
I don't know,
Holliday
man.
can quick draw.
Yeah, I mean, Holiday put that bullet right in the dude, right in the middle of his head too. So, I mean, I think he's pretty
That's
accurate
true,
as well.
but not from very far.
Right?
Yeah, he is not. No, not taken away from him. Just distance. You know, if they were 100 meters apart, I'd probably give it to Riggs. But up close, and Doc Holliday's got that quick draw and the catchphrases. Catchphrases are important in action movies.
Well, yeah, for
And,
sure.
he's got a few. So, yeah,
Yeah, you can't beat
I'm
somebody without a catchphrase.
narrowly
No.
giving it to Doc Holliday.
I mean, I can't disagree with you. They're both. This is actually a good matchup here.
Yeah,
I think Riggs would end up disarming him though. I think Riggs would be, because again, Riggs was special forces before he joined the police force as well. So I think he would try to get it into hand to hand. And so once he's able to get into hand to hand, then Riggs is coming out the winner. So
Sorry, it's Curtis's turn.
I mean, I don't care what Dude says the rules are. Doc Holliday was my pick. But I'm sitting here looking at this and I'm like, is he a better quick draw? Yes. But Martin Riggs, like, he had, like, that dude could fuck some people up. Like, he knew, like, really badass moves and shit. And on top of that, he's also skilled with a weapon. So Doc Holliday is kind of a one-trick pony. Plus, in that movie, you know, he's like on his deathbed almost. Whereas, you know, Riggs can fire a gun, he can fight up close, and he's, you know, still kind of young and agile. I got to give this to Riggs. I love Doc Holliday. He was my pick, but I think I got to give this to Riggs.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think, you know, if it's a quick draw contest, I'm giving it to Holliday. But I think, you know, if it goes beyond a quick draw, it's Riggs for the win. Like you said, Curtis, Doc is sick as shit at this point. I mean, he's by the end of that movie, he barely has the strength to stand up, let alone pull that gun up. So yeah, I'm giving it to Riggs because, you know, he is the lethal weapon in that franchise. So I mean,
and he's got some good quips too. Like, you know, don't count out
Mo.
Yeah, you don't count out Riggs when it comes to some smart ass comments. So
yeah, I mean, he'll walk right around the corner of a high rise building just to get the guy to walk back in. You know.
all right, so that was Joe. You had Doc Holliday.
Yep.
I said Riggs. Curtis.
Yeah, I got to go Riggs. I don't want to, but I think I got him.
And Jesse was Riggs.
Now, this isn't saying and for all of these, this isn't saying I necessarily like one character or the other. I'm just trying to think physical.
I think this ended up being a bad matchup for Doc Holliday. I think that he wins in the first round against a lot of people, but I think that's a bad draw for him in the first round.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
if he was in his prime, maybe.
Yeah,
he'd last a little longer.
All right. Now, next we've got The Bride versus Jason Bourne. So, you know, The Bride, she is a badass. She killed a lot of people. She's wicked with that sword. But I mean, Jason Bourne is just a freaking super agent. So I think at the end of the day, he's going to end up taking this one. I think it's going to be a hell of a fight. I think she's going to get a lot of hits in. Same kind of thing with the stamina and I think she's going to take a lot, but eventually I think Bourne will take her down.
Okay, so both of these were my pick. So FYI.
Well, you can't
And-
sway here.
and I didn't think that they were going to face each other. So I'm already going to be two men down after this one. But I don't know, man. The bride is like, dude, she fucks some people up, and she is skilled. But Jason Bourne, I've seen him get out of some really messed up situations with a lot of people after him at once. I mean, hell, he's had the whole freaking country trying to chase him down. I don't know, man. I think this is not my final vote, but right now I think I have to give the edge to Bourne unless I hear a better argument. So,
I'm up.
Yep.
I'm going with Beatrice Kiddo, the bride. I think the bride is taking Bourne down in the end. She literally punches her way out of a coffin. She digs herself out of a grave. She's paralyzed and she wiggles her big toe and gets her movement back. I think it's got to be the bride. Just the training she goes through. I know Bourne's got all that, but I think in the end, I think this would be probably the longest fight between any of the characters we've looked at so far.
Okay.
You give Jason Bourne a phone book, and the bride's going to be feeling that. But I think in the end, she wins by a hair.
Vance says crazy 8-7 in the chat. I mean, she did take that fight where she's taking on all those folks. Dude,
crazy.
that's a badass fight. And I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe she hits him with that thing and makes his heart stop and explode. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Thanks for stealing my point there, Curtis.
Sorry, go ahead. Joe.
I was going to say, way to jump in and steal my thunder. No, fun fact, no, you're good. Fun fact, I've never actually seen a Jason Bourne movie. I think
man.
I've seen enough. Yeah, I think I've seen enough advertisements to kind of get the gist, though. And he seems like a badass. I'm sure it would be a great fight unless he just, took it seriously and opened with the death touch, and just got it over with. So,
just
I'm
don't
going to go
watch
with the bride just because she's got the quick kill.
Don't watch the Jeremy Renner one, but all the rest of them are fucking amazing. So,
All right. So I've got Bourne. Curtis?
I defer to Joe and
All
Jesse.
right. Jesse, you've got
I got the bride.
Joe?
Same bride.
Curtis?
You know what? I don't want to pick between these two, so I'm going to say Bourne and make it go to the chat.
To the chat. All right. Let's see what we got here.
We're tied 3 for 3 in the chat.
Yeah.
3 Bournes, 3 brides.
Who can split the difference here?
Who's going to be the tiebreaker?
Next,
I say we just go,
Jump
next
in
one,
and
next
save
comment
the
that
segment.
pops up that
Yeah.
haven't voted already. That's our tiebreaker. So help
next
us out,
vote takes it. Come on, Amber.
Amber,
20
Legends
people
Click.
watching.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
G's going with the bride.
All right, G. Thank
All
you,
right.
sir.
Oh, and Wholesome Warlock.
Yeah.
All right. We got the bride with the tiebreaker. She advances. She took down.
That was a
All
tough
right.
one.
All right, back up to Curtis for this one. We've got Sophia from Mission Impossible 3 versus Dutch from Predator.
I mean, I don't have anything to say on this one. Like, this is, to me, this isn't even a challenge. Like, Dutch whoops the fucking floor with her. So, like, I don't even know. Like, this is, I mean, maybe she beats somebody in here, but she doesn't beat him. So, yeah. And I'll pass it off to Jesse because I guarantee this is Jesse's pick.
Spoiler alert, it is my pick. It's one of the first times I saw Halle Berry in a role that I was like, I actually like this character, and I don't see Halle Berry, I see the character. So the character really stood out to me, the way she has the dogs that fight with her. And again, I misunderstood the assignment. As much as I want her to win this fight, I think she's gonna put a hurting on Dutch, but he's he's gonna win in the end. I don't see her surviving that fight. I think like I said, I think she'll get some good hits in, especially if she's got her dog. That dog's gonna snap down on his crotch. Fight.
Good question. I don't know, Kevin. Maybe we'll find out.
That would be extra. That would be behind a paywall.
Dutch is going to have his shirt off for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, covered in the mud.
She's not naked in that movie, so I would say no.
All right, Joe.
I haven't seen Mission Impossible 3. I do know who Halle Berry is. I know that
John Wick.
Dutch
John
fought.
Wick 3.
Yeah, dude said it wrong earlier.
That was my bad.
But okay, I actually bought John Wick 3 and just haven't watched it yet, but I will get around to it. Either way, Dutch fights the Predator. Yeah, I mean, that just right there. I mean, he won't get to use some of his good catchphrases from that movie on her, but
You don't think he would
Or
call her
at least
one
that one
ugly
for
son of a bitch?
No, I don't think so. and I respect her even trying, but I think Dutch, narrowly pulls this one out. Not that
yeah.
one. That's not what I meant.
Yeah, I mean it's Dutch. I mean, who are we kidding here?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a sweep. So
Yeah, that's almost a flawless victory there.
the chat is saying Sophia, but I don't see that. But okay.
Character-wise, I like her better, but I think physical fight, Dutch wins.
Absolutely. All right, we're back to
wait.
Jesse.
No,
Oh,
I know who Halle Berry is. I don't know who the character she plays is. I haven't watched the movie. I know who Halle Berry is. She's Catwoman. Duh.
He's been singing in the lines with the Spexians.
Oh, God. Why would you bring that up? That's almost as bad as Mayo.
All right. Next,
Actually, it's worse. It's worse.
We're at Jesse, right?
we're at Jesse. This is Ripley versus Aragorn, son of Arathorn.
Again, I misunderstood the assignment.
I like this matchup. This is let's do it.
Here's the thing. Like, I think about like the morality of these characters, and I don't see unless Aragorn's going to try to talk this fight down. I don't see why Ripley would be trying to I don't understand why this fight is happening.
Because it's Mortal Kombat.
Do we have?
You can make up whatever story you want to imagine how the fight would go.
If it's Alien 1 and 2, Aragorn wins, hands down. Alien 3, they might take each other out. Alien 4, where she's like freaking weird hybrid, and mating with the big weird Mama Jamba alien. I don't know. I think she wins that one, but I'm going to go with Aragorn just because I don't know what the hell to do with this one.
Joe?
Well, I'm not 100% sure either. I don't want to break any of the rules, but I might have not 100% understood the assignment either. Yeah, this is a tough one. They're both great characters. I think Ripley has a lot of ingenuity. She's an engineer, and Aragorn was born to be a badass. I mean, he's Dunedain, so he's really old and has been fighting a really long time. And I think that his skill level is just way above hers in any type of physical combat. So I'm going to go with Aragorn.
You know, my first thought was obviously initially Aragorn, but the more I think about this, like I think we're coming back to the whole head-on versus tactics type thing, and I think Aragorn is going to be that one. He's going to stand on the battlefield. He's going to attack with a sword. But I mean, I think Ripley might be able to get the better of him by using her strength or her mind and evading him and taking her shots when she can. I mean, she took down Alien. He took down Sauron. It's a tough one. I think this will be a lot closer than people are giving it credit for. And I'm going to keep thinking about how this fight ends while Curtis takes his turn.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think this fight is close. I think that Ripley mops the floor with him. I think that one alien would destroy Aragorn, and she has repeatedly gone up against these things, and like you said, used her brain to figure out ways to not only get out of it, but to take care of them and get rid of them. So I just think that in a fight, I think she's going to do whatever it takes to win, and somehow she comes out on top. And I don't think it's really close in my opinion. So I'm Ripley all the way. That's my vote. Yeah.
We'll back down. So Curtis has Ripley. Jesse?
Aragorn.
Is that Aragorn, son of Arathorn, or is that Aragorn, son of Acclimedes?
There's one Aragorn on this list.
Just want to make sure. Joe?
Aragorn.
And oh, it pains me, but I gotta agree with Curtis. I think it wound up Ripley in my head. So that means
the chat is overwhelmingly Aragorn.
Yeah.
So
I'm with that. If Mortal Kombat style, if this is just a face-to-face fight, I don't think Ripley stands a chance. I think it'll be closer, but I think Aragorn comes out on top.
All right. So Aragorn gets the tiebreaker. He squeaks to the next round. All right. We've got El Duce versus Ilsa Foss. This is the one that's from Mission Impossible 3. Right? Yes.
Are we admitting which one we picked? Yes, it's Ilsa
I'm just
Foss.
asking you to verify the movie she's from. Somebody.
She's from not 3, but she's in 3 of them.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Whose turn is this?
It would be Joe.
Okay.
Do you know either of these characters, Josh?
I know Boondock Saints, but I haven't watched it in a really, really long time.
He's their dad.
Okay. And I mean he's a badass. And I did watch the first Mission Impossible, but also it was a really long time ago. I'm gonna say the type of she's not in that one. I thought somebody said she was in all of them. No, okay, because I don't remember her. But
the most
using the logic from the type of movies that they are, I think that Boondock Saints is a little more grounded in reality, where Mission Impossible is what it is. And so I'm gonna go with Ms. Faust as my pick, just based on the types of movies, not which one I like better, just who I think would win in a fight.
I want to address something in the chat. Eddie says, love Ripley, but she's not winning unless she has a robotic cargo suit. We didn't say that she doesn't. So, as we go through this, you can imagine that fight going any way you want. Whether it's they find weapons, they find different places to hide, like whatever. Like this isn't just like they're without weapons in the middle of a ring and they're locked in. And this is however you imagine this fight going.
That's how I've been visioning
and that's why I wanted to clarify. Like you can talk this through however you want. Like I would see these two facing off, and here's how I would think it would go. And that's So I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
All right. I've been doing the assignment wrong after I got explained the assignment because I was imagining them face to face in a combat.
There's no way to do it.
If that's how you want
no way
to
to do it
imagine
wrong.
it, that's fine. That's what we're saying. There's no way to do it wrong.
I wouldn't
So-
imagine any of these people going up against each other. I hate brackets.
That's the one thing that has to happen. They have to go against each other.
I don't really have a big affinity for either of these characters, but I'm gonna go Faust. I think she's gonna get the edge. I think she's more disciplined, and I think she's gonna take the win here.
I think you're fucking nuts.
Okay.
Anybody that's seen Boondock Saints knows El Duce is the one that they fucking keep locked up. Like he is an animal, and they only release him when they have some sort of problem that they have no other way of dealing with, and they unleash him. But he's as much problem for them as he is for the person that they unleash him against. Like El Duce is an absolute badass. He's a fucking animal. There's no controlling him. He destroys this chick 100%, hands down. So with his 6 guns in his vest at the same time. So
I'm gonna have to completely disagree with Curtis and say that Ilsa Faust takes Il Duce out without even breaking a sweat. She's got. I'm not saying he like, and I love Il Duce. Like I think from he is everything Curtis says, but I think Ilsa Faust, her skills, her personal hand-to-hand combat, her sniper skills, she can hold her breath for almost 7 minutes. I think she's winning this fight.
that'll help you in a fight.
I mean, if they can have a forklift, she can jump underwater and hold her breath longer than that old man. He's gonna drown.
Yeah, and he's gonna shoot her with all 6 guns while she's on there holding her breath for 7 minutes.
7
She's
minutes.
Gonna take him out with a sniper rifle
What's she
from
doing
a
Saturday
mile
night?
away before he even knows he's in the fight.
Sure. Okay.
All right, Joe, what's your official vote?
Ilsa.
Ilsa. I'm gonna go Ilsa as well. Curtis.
Of course, I'm not going. Go ahead. Just continue. Move on. So
And Jesse's got Faust.
you guys are absolutely delusional, but okay.
And she gets the upset. All
Upset's
right.
not even the word for it.
Next up, we've got Ethan Hunt versus John Wick. This is the one I mean, John Wick has got to mop the floor with Hunt. I'm assuming this is after his dog's already dead, so he's got all the rage and the vengeance, and also not a big fan of Tom Cruise anyways, or his character in Mission Impossible, so
Talking about Ethan Hunt.
I am. I think John Wick wins this one pretty effortlessly.
I don't really care because either one of these guys is going to whoop the ass of that chick in the second round, so I'm good. All right, next.
No bitterness, Curtis. No bitterness. You're doing
Next.
this for fun, buddy.
I mean, Ethan Hunt was my pick, but going up against John Wick, I don't think Ethan's getting out of that one alive, not without his team. So, John Wick.
Yeah, I mean, Ethan Hunt is a good character for what he does, but he doesn't do what John Wick does. And what John Wick does is freaking murder people. So, John Wick.
With a pencil.
Freaking murder people.
All right, so official vote with no bitterness. I've got John Wick. Curtis,
John Wick.
Jesse,
John Wick.
and Joe.
John Wick.
All right, John Wick easily jumps through. That is the last one. So now we jump back up to the top here. We've got Lee versus Harry Tasker. This is back to you, Curtis.
I gotta go Lee. Yeah, I gotta go Lee.
I'm also going Lee. I don't see anybody coming out on top against him.
I'm gonna go Lee. He fights a few larger opponents in the movie, and it makes zero difference. Size isn't gonna get him through in this one. So yeah, I'm going Lee.
And I'm gonna go Harry, just because I think it's badass, and I think he would take Lee down, but it doesn't matter. Lee sweeps the leg. He continues to the next round. All right, we've got Martin Riggs versus the Bride. This is to you, Jesse.
Got two crazy people going up against each other.
Incredibly.
I think, man, I don't know how to. Man, this is tough. I say they take each other out, and there is no like. I think they kill each other,
Right?
Completely.
Yeah.
If we're going fatality here.
I think that they're lucky that this isn't an actual tournament to where they have to carry the damage over from the previous bracket.
Right.
Because whoever would win this fight would be totally dead for the next one.
Yeah. I'm giving to the Bride by a hair.
All right, Joe.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. It's really close. I mean, it could go either way. I'm sure. I'm gonna go with God. They both have a lot of grit too. That makes that makes it tough. I'm thinking that Riggs pulls it out though. There's just something that makes me feel like at the end of this, he might be the last one standing. Maybe dislocates his shoulder and beats it with her or something. I don't know. I'm flipping a coin here. I'll go Riggs.
Yeah, this is surprisingly tough. They both, lost family members. They're both crazy. I mean, this is going to be a knockdown, drag out fight. But I think I got to go with Joe. I think Riggs just has kind of that crazy edge where he just always seems to pull it out. So I'm going to go with Riggs just by a hair. Like Jesse said, I mean, it's almost a Superman Doomsday thing where they both end up dropping. But
yeah, I mean, I do think this is a knockout, drag out. The reason why I'm going to give the edge to one of them, I think close combat, they're pretty close. I think they're both badasses in close combat. He's got the special forces training. She's got the martial arts. I think that they're both very skilled fighters up close. I think when it in ranged, I think he's, we talked about him being a marksman. Like, if there's a chance to get it from afar, like he destroys her. Mm-hmm. So because he's good at both and she's only good in the close combat, or at least best him maybe in close combat, I think I got to give the edge to him slightly. I could see it going either way. I could see her like getting him cornered and taking him out, but I could also see him being able to fight her off enough that he could come out on top. So I'm going to give the edge to Riggs.
Jesse? Oh, no, we did.
Yeah, you already got my vote.
It started with Jesse. Sorry. All right. Riggs takes it to the next round. All right, Joe, it's to you with Dutch versus Aragorn, son of Arathorn.
Man, this is a tough one. I love both of these characters. Both of these characters have fought and defeated things that they probably shouldn't be able to have. Dutch definitely has the better catchphrases. This is right down the middle for me, but I think Aragorn has a magic sword, and that's going to edge him out just over the top. It's gonna be a hell of a fight, but he's gonna take Dutch down at the end because he has a magic sword, hero magic.
Joel says, "I assume this isn't arm wrestling." I think it's gonna come down to. It can be, you know. It totally could finish that way.
Yeah.
Thumb wrestling.
I know he's got a magic sword, but Dutch is still Dutch. I mean, he's a powerhouse. He took down an alien. Like, I think I got to give the edge to Dutch on
beat
this
a
one.
troll.
Yeah, that happens. Predator is more impressive within the beating column.
All right,
Dutch.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to use the same logic I used in the last one. I think that I think Aragorn would get his ass kicked by an alien. I think he would also get his ass kicked by a predator even more. I think Predator is even more impressive than a single alien. And therefore, Dutch has beaten Predator. Therefore, he's better. And he would win. So
Nice and mathematical. I like it. Jesse.
Aragorn wins hands down. The way he takes out that orc captain in the first movie without a magic sword, he doesn't need the magic sword to beat anything. I think he would win against both an alien and a predator. The only reason he hasn't is because they don't exist in his world.
he would get his ass kicked.
I don't think so. I think he's got far more training and skills than Dutch. I think he would take Dutch's head off with his regular sword in the middle of his battle cry.
Aragorn needs friends to win.
Real quick before we keep discussing, guys, throw out your votes in the chat because we are at a tie. So the chat, you got the chance to break this tie. Tell us who would win, Dutch versus Aragorn. And Van wants to know if one of the parameters was smoke crack before judging this contest.
I don't see his vote, so
Yeah,
I don't know.
Van,
I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Van's really fixating on this.
I never need a
parameters
reason to smoke crack, Van.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're way for Van. The parameters win, and that's all.
We got Eddie for Dutch. We got Joel for Aragorn. We got Jeff for Dutch. Mark, I'm not counting that as a vote yet, but if you were saying Aragorn, you need to throw your vote out there. So right now we're 2-2, right? Or no?
No, there's more than that.
3-2.
Three
Dutch.
Aragorns, 2 Dutches at the moment.
One Dutch.
No, we got 3 Dutches. We got Van, Jeff, and Eddie. We're all Dutch, and 3 Aragorns.
Okay.
So we're 3-3.
All right, so next one takes it. Whoever posts after Kevin.
That's bullshit.
What?
Next one that's not one that's already cast a vote.
Right, exactly.
Yep. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Because we're going to get one, and then there's going to be like 4 more that come in right after it because for some reason there's a delay.
Well, yeah, but we can't sit here all night, so.
Or we're going to get none, and we're just going to sit here all night.
Parameters.
That's the parameters.
We'll have to roll a die or something.
Yeah.
All right. 19 people watching. Somebody cast a vote.
Come on. In a second here, it's going to be either Legends of Grayskull podcast or OffWorld that's going to be casting a vote.
No doubt.
Oh.
I have Darla cast a vote. He's not in the chat, Eddie. That doesn't count.
Eddie's got to be in the chat.
I would love to take that vote, but I can't. Oh, there we go. JG.
Thank you,
There it
JG.
is.
And Gisa guy.
Next tiebreaker goes to the person with the smallest shoe size.
It's people voting. It's not like we're just randomly picking this.
How's that for
And you get
parameters?
2 more. Yeah.
All right. Dutch barely beats Aragorn and his magic sword.
That was close. That was really close.
That was a good one. For the follow-up to that, Ilsa Faust versus John Wick. John Wick. I think that's all it's needed here.
John Wick. She shouldn't have made it past the last round.
You can get bent, John Wick.
And Joe.
Yeah, John Wick.
All right.
Mr.
John-
Wick.
John Wick strolls through. All right. Back up. We're getting down here.
Quarterfinals or semifinals? All right. Let's do this.
Yeah,
just got
semifinals.
Four left.
Yep.
Here we go.
All right. So first up,
All right.
it's back up to Curtis, Lee, and Martin Riggs.
You know, just like I was doing the one earlier where I was talking about close and distant combat. I think Riggs has them both. I think he's got everything. I think that he's a marksman. He's got the close quarters special forces fighting. I think Lee probably does have an edge up close, but it's not as big as Riggs has far away. So I'm gonna go Riggs. I think it's close, but I think I'm gonna go Riggs.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about the fact that next time we do this, we actually need to set up ground rules for how these work, because if we're going range, Ilsa smokes everybody with sniper skills.
You can vote however you want.
You're the one who voted for Wick, not us.
Looks.
I'm just because when we switched into this, it's Mortal Kombat. Like, no one has a sniper rifle in Mortal Kombat or like range.
They also have magic powers in Mortal Kombat.
You gonna say they don't have range? Scorpion literally shoots
meant
a thing across
snipers.
There's characters with. Oh well, there's characters.
You can imagine the fight
Absolutely.
going however you want and vote however you want. Same way that I can do it the same way.
Yeah.
So you can do whatever you want, Jesse.
Right, that's what I'm just saying. We should have set this up differently so we're all playing in the same sandbox with the same set of rules.
I don't like your sandbox. I like my sandbox.
Well, I mean, then all of your characters win all the time, and that's bullshit.
None of my
That's why
characters have made it. Not a
that's
single
why
one
I
of them
hate
made it.
what in your sandbox they do.
No, they didn't. I voted against my characters.
He did.
I voted against my characters in almost every match.
Right. Oh, fair enough. I voted against some of my characters too because I did the assignment wrong to
Well,
begin
then
with.
just make your vote and stop complaining about the parameters.
I hate brackets.
Cats poop in
because
my
of this sort of stuff. Because at the end, it's like, well, I don't like this person because it beat out this other guy 4 rounds ago.
No,
so
no, every
I'm
fight is
picking
gone the
Lee.
way that we wanted to vote.
I just gave my vote, Lee. I think Lee smokes.
I missed
Mortari.
that in the parameters.
Yeah, no shit.
Joseph?
I've never even seen that movie.
What
He freaking kills somebody with a nail gun that's not even hooked up to an air compressor. That doesn't. How does that even work?
force
that
of
good.
will, mind bullets.
No superpowers.
So mind bullets aren't superpowers.
It's telekinesis,
coolest
Kyle.
nah.
That's literally in the song.
So for me, I'm going with Lee on this one. I think that he would find a way to close the distance to come out ahead. He is the action star, one of the guys that started the genre because he kicks that much butt. Not to say it wouldn't be a good fight. I think it would, but I'm taking Lee. In my sandbox, that's what happens. He steps over the cat poop and kicks Riggs in the head.
It's a tough one. I still think I gotta stick with my boy Riggs. I think we're underselling him. I think he would. Riggs can take a lot of damage, and even in the hand to hand, I think he'll end up winning out. So I'm going Riggs.
We've got Van for Lee, and that's the only official vote I see. I see Eddie going back and forth, so give it a few seconds. Otherwise,
Eddie had Lee up top
Well,
before Van started all his parameters.
He said Lee takes it, no weight Riggs. Then he said Lee for the win, but then he said bricks don't hit back. So I'm not counting that as a vote. I don't know. Yeah, but now we just
and
got
Kevin has Riggs above him.
Yeah, we got Mark and Joel saying Lee. Eddie just now said Lee, so we got 4 Lees. So it's Lee.
It's Lee.
Whoever this parameters guy is, he's kicking ass in the voting. So.
Yeah, that's because drunk Van had to throw out his parameters, and then Jesse had to jump on that train, and so now he validated everything that Van just said. So,
Jesse, you're up. We've got Dutch versus John Wick.
John Wick's taking him out from the top of the Eiffel Tower with a bazooka. So John Wick.
He's got
a bazooka loaded with pencils. But no, seriously, especially hand-to-hand combat, like if they're up close, I think John Wick is gonna be hurting. But I think Dooch goes down in the end. I mean Dutch.
Oh, Dooch will go down for sure if you treat him right.
I hate my
You
life.
set that one up. That one's on you.
I said it wrong. I'm tired.
Joe.
Yeah, this is another good one. Of course, John Wick's never fought an alien or a predator. But I'm still feeling like it's a tough one. I don't. They're both very skilled characters. John Wick just murders a lot of people. Dutch does, but I don't know. I'm going John Wick. I think he gets the edge up.
Do want to address something in the chat? Van says that he's not drunk, and that was hurtful. I'm sorry that I assumed that you're drunk. Please accept my apology. I didn't realize you're just fucking annoying. So I thought maybe you were just drunk, but instead, no. It turns out that you were just annoying tonight. So there you go. So I'm sorry I accused you of being drunk. So
don't listen to Curtis. That's just the crack talking.
The Provel cheese.
I mean, it's a great matchup. But I gotta go with the biceps here. I mean, Dutch is just gonna he's gonna take him down. He's gonna wear him out. He's gonna pound him into the ground eventually. I'm going Dutch on this one. He beat a predator.
I'm going to use Jesse parameters, and they're going to play solitaire each and see who finishes faster. And I think that John Wick just has major solitaire skills, and so he gets the win for that. So John Wick.
John Wick.
Yeah, because of his solitaire skills.
And Joe, this one's starting with you. We've got the final. 2 incredible action heroes here. They meet up. We've got Lee from Enter the Dragon versus John Wick from the John Wick series. Who is walking out of this arena alive, Joe?
Yeah, I think both of these guys deserve this spot. Not that there was, anybody who didn't, but this would be a hell of a fight. I think that these guys have both helped define the genre, these characters. It's close enough that I don't know I can come up with a logical reason why one or other would win. I just know that very young Joe loved Lee in Enter the Dragon, so I'm going to go Lee.
All right.
Even though I love John Wick too.
Yeah, this is definitely. I can see this being the finals. I've got to give the edge to John Wick here. I think he is just going to be relentless, and he is going to win out over Lee.
I personally think Riggs beats both of these guys and win in the finals. He wasn't my pick, but I think it's just whoever picked it. I think it's a great fucking pick. So, FYI. But in this fight, which shouldn't be the finals, I'm going to go ahead and say John Wick.
All right, Jesse.
I'm gonna say neither of them have a reason to fight each other, so they both bow at each other and walk away.
Okay, John Wick wins.
And John Wick wins.
All right, John Wick takes it. He is our top action hero. And next time we will have more parameters for Jesse.
I'm not surprised by that. I mean, I thought that was kind of the obvious pick, which is why I didn't pick him going in. I figured somebody was going to throw him out there. So that doesn't surprise me. I think that's like when we did the movies of '89 bracket, like Batman coming out on top. It's like, I mean, what did you expect?
Yeah.
So,
and it's one of those things too where it's like this is definitely a concept we can revisit, and like we said about '89 too, if we were to revisit it, those top ones would automatically be out, and we could so. But it's nice to get those guys out of the way. So,
alrighty.
Like, even though he was one of my picks, there's no way Ethan Hunt was making it to the final round. Like, as soon as I realized what this was, I was like, oh yeah, he's not making it. He only works in with the team.
Yeah. Who did pick John Wick? I can't remember now.
Wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
Yeah, the only one of mine that I think could have made or should have maybe made it farther is Jason Bourne. But the rest of them, my picks, I don't see getting that far. Right. So whoever had Riggs, I thought that was a great pick.
That I don't know. I thought that the last battle would be closer. I'm a big Bruce Lee fan though. But I did pick Lee, John Wick, and Dutch. So I'm feeling pretty good about
you did good.
How far my picks went.
Nice.
Very nice, boys.
I also haven't seen some of the movies that some of these characters were in, so I don't know if I voted the right way on those. Mostly Jesse's picks, I'm sure. But so if I picked incorrectly, my apologies. Yeah,
I've never seen Enter the Dragon. I've seen some clips, and I know Bruce Lee. I was essentially playing himself in the movie.
I'm actually surprised. Like Curtis, you said you haven't seen it either?
No.
Dooch?
No, just clips and.
Wow. Okay. So I'm going to give extra credit to that pick because I'm the only person who has seen that really good movie. Yet he still made it to the last round.
Maybe that should be one of your have you evers at some point.
Yeah, actually, that's not a bad idea at all. Really, I wouldn't mind
let's
revisiting it.
Pull up our random number generator for this week in theaters, and we landed on 2010. So let it go to the theaters weekly, and we're going to 2010, and we are looking for Maytober 24th. All right, maybe. Okay, here we go. Number one at the box office is Shrek Forever After. So
that was the third one or the fourth one?
That is the fourth one.
Okay. Rumpelstiltskin tricks a midlife crisis burdened Shrek into allowing himself to be erased from existence and casts a dark alternative timeline where Rumpelstiltskin rules supreme. I think I saw that when it was called It's a Wonderful Life. Next, we have Iron Man 2. With the world now aware of his identity as Iron Man, Tony Stark must contend with both his declining health and a vengeful madman with ties to his father's legacy. We've got Robin Hood. This is the Russell Crowe one. In the 12th century England, Robin Longstride and his band of marauders confront corrupt corruption in local village and lead an uprising against the crown that will forever alter the balance of world power.
Marauders, that's a strong term.
Next, we have Sex and the City 2. Yes, they made a second one. While wrestling with the pressures of life, love, and work in Manhattan, Carrie, Miranda, and Charlotte join Samantha for a trip to Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, where Samantha's ex is filming a new movie. Riveting. Next, we have Letters to Juliet. Sophie travels to Verona, where she finds an old unanswered letter asking for love advice. She answers it, and when the recipient shows up along with her grumpy grandson, they head off to find the old long-lost love while a young love sparks. Next, we have MacGruber. Former special operative MacGruber is called back into action to take down his arch enemy, Dieter von Kumpf, who's in possession of a nuclear warhead and bent on destroying Washington, D.C. 7, we have Just Right.
Oh, my God.
A physical therapist falls for a basketball player she is helping recover from career-threatening injury. Then we've got Date Night. In New York City, a case of mistaken identity turns a bored married couple's attempt at a glamorous romantic evening into something more thrilling and dangerous. Number 9, we've got A Nightmare on Elm Street. The specter of a disfigured man haunts children of the parents who murdered him, stalking and killing them in their dreams. And number 10, we've got Jesse's movie, How to Train Your Dragon. Hapless young Viking who aspires to hunt dragons becomes the unlikely friend of a young dragon himself and learns there may be more to the creatures than he assumed.
So
we'll start at the bottom with Dooch. Dooch, 2010, you've traveled back in time. You're not the age you were in 2010. You're the age you are now, but you have traveled back there. You walk into a theater, you see these 10 movies. What are you seeing?
Oh, this one's actually really easy because there's not a lot of good stuff here. But yeah, I'm going to see Date Night. That's actually a really enjoyable movie. It's got a nice twist in it. I really enjoyed that one, so I'm going to go see Date Night. The rest of these, yeah, I'm kind of with the chat here that this isn't a lackluster week in the theaters.
Okay. All right, we got one for Date Night. Joe, what are you seeing?
Yeah. So, like with most of these lists, I haven't seen, most of the movies on the list. But I have seen a few, but one that I didn't even know existed, but won me over just by the description is MacGruber. I'm going and watching that Existence Unknown just by that amazing description of what the movie's about. I think would entertain my ass off. So,
okay.
MacGruber.
All right, we got one for Date Night, one for MacGruber. Jesse,
You go next, Curtis. I want to go last.
I mean, he's going to see How You Train Your Dragon. And I will say that probably would be my number 2. It is a great movie. I know if I brought Darla with me, I'd have to watch that because she loves How to Train Your Dragon, the whole series. But probably an unpopular opinion, but I think Iron Man 2 is the best Iron Man movie.
Wow.
I love it. I know a lot of people shit on it, but I absolutely love Iron Man 2. And for a movie-going experience, seeing something on the big screen and the surround sound and all this and that, yeah, it's Iron Man 2 all the way for me. But How to Train Your Dragon would be a close second. So, Jesse,
I was solid in on Robin Hood until I saw what number 10 was. So Curtis is right. It is How to Train Your Dragon. Can you slide over and see how many weeks that's been in theaters? I feel like
which one? Both of those?
How to Train Your Dragon. I feel like that's been out
9 weeks at that point.
So okay, so that's been out on this list a lot longer than everything except for Date Night. I mean, it's still longer than Date. So,
Right.
I didn't realize Robin Hood came out this late in the spring. I thought that came out closer to Christmas time, but that must have been when I saw a trailer for it. But How to Train Your Dragon, that trilogy, I think, is hands down the single greatest trilogy in cinematic history. Yeah, I would love to go back to see that in the theater again on a huge screen, especially with 3D. I think that movie was incredible in 3D, and between the score and the humor and the animation, I'm all in on that.
It definitely is a great series, but I gotta see Justin Hammer. Like, yeah, love me some Justin Hammer. So,
oh, he's good too.
Yeah,
I'll see. Yeah.
Let's see what is chat saying, that it just sucks. Slow week. Van complaining about my mean comments. But he has time to spam the chat. Got Wholesome Warlock saying MacGruber. Steph says date night. What's that? Dude, you said you were watching it. You said that's funny.
Yeah,
Date night.
That is a fun movie.
It's a fun movie. Very enjoyable.
In that. Eddie says he's going to Iron Man 2. Joel says Iron Man 2. And Jeff says, are you ready for the live action Train a Dragon flick coming? Is that a thing?
That's a thing. I don't know how I feel about that.
It's
I'm going to hold off.
It's
judgment.
the same series, but like as live action, or is it a totally different world?
I think I don't know. As far as I understand, it's just a live action adaptation of the story.
Okay.
I'm sure they'll do so. If it's Disney and they just do like straight recreation of it, that's going to be really lame. So hopefully they at least do something different, and to make it its own thing.
They are calling it a remake, so
Gotcha.
seems like there will at least be a little bit something.
Like Jordan's going to bed. Good night, Jordan. Okay.
Punch your pillow in the face and tell him Shooting the Shelf sent you.
Exactly.
Then
Exactly.
tell him Offworld sent you to curl up with your blanket.
Tell him we're sorry that Van got his feelings hurt after spamming our chat. So, okay.
Wasn't he the one complaining about talking about spam instead of filet mignon at the beginning of the show?
I don't know. There's so many comments I can't keep up. Do we have a lightning round, Dooch?
We did, but my phone's dead.
But what? Your phone is dead?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Plug it in, man.
Yeah, plugged in now.
Gotcha. Okay. So are we waiting for it to charge up enough that you can do our lightning round, or what are we doing?
Nah, I think we call it here. I gotta get to bed.
Okay. Early night, folks.
All right.
Unless you guys want to keep going, but I gotta be up.
Lightning
tomorrow.
round.
Big day
Do you
tomorrow.
really want to hurt me?
Yes.
Do you really want to make me cry?
Yes.
All right.
Side note, Darla loves Boy George. Like,
Who doesn't love Boy
absolutely
George?
loves Boy George.
It's my favorite episode of the A-Team is when Boy George guest stars. It's
Okay.
fun.
Okay. Joe G live tomorrow?
Yes, sir. Should be. I should be on. And I think Oz is going to try to do the show from his phone, even though his computer's broken. So I'm pretty sure it will be on the Ostradamus Toys channel. So anybody wants to stop in and say hi, feel free.
Sounds good. Purple Gang live tomorrow. They've got Nate Armstrong on. I may or may not be there. Sounds like Van and Jordan are mad at me.
Do they have any parameters for that show?
There's absolutely zero parameters for that show, even though they insist on a million parameters for our show.
Got it.
So actually, I shouldn't say they, because Jordan didn't. I think he's just supporting Van in his going to bed. But yeah, but they should have a fun one with Nate Armstrong on tomorrow. If you've seen that show, you know that Nate, there's a clip of Nate that's a very big part of that show that runs each week. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of shenanigans they're up to with that. Then we've got the Customizing Studio Sunday at 1 p.m. If you're interested in joining us, come see us and hang out, paint, and do all that fun stuff. And then Sunday night, Jesse and I have a guest. We've got Matt Stein. Is that what we got with it this week?
Yes.
Cool. So I'm guessing we're gonna have a lot of Dwarf fans in the chat. Just be aware if you show up, Dwarf fans. But that should be a fun one.
Summon Anthony.
Dooch, you want to tell them what you got going on with Legends of Grayskull?
Not only Legends of Grayskull, but first, Legends of Grayskull will be premiering our LOG on MYP miniseries next Wednesday. That'll be dropping at 8 p.m. Central Time. Available on YouTube or wherever pods are cast. That is the mini-series where me and Curtis are going through every episode of the Mike Young Productions He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, starting from 1 and going all the way to episode 39. So
nice.
We're actually going to start with a double drop this Wednesday. We've got a little episode 0 where we kind of go over our introduction to the series, and then also episode 1, which will be episode 1 of the cartoon. So be a double drop to start it off, and then weekly on Wednesday at 8 p.m. You can look forward to that until we are out of episodes.
You down with LOG MYP?
Yeah, you know MYP. What about HYE?
That was my other announcement. That will be dropping starting on Monday at 8 Central.
This Monday?
This coming Monday.
This coming Monday. So any of you that missed the Have You Ever segment, sounds like it's coming this Monday. So be on the lookout for that.
That will be only here on the OffWorld YouTube channel. So
and Just Shelve It channel, Wednesday one-shots each week. Jesse, you want to tell them about the one from this Wednesday, this Wednesday?
Week was Sean and I talking about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, which was a fun movie. Got to see a couple weeks ago. So yeah, Sean and I missed posting it last week, so apologies, folks over there. I know Curtis has got one cooking up for this coming week, and then we've got some more down the road. And be looking out for another some more rats coming up soon as well.
Nice. Beautiful.
Nice.
Okay.
Hey, and
yeah,
this upcoming Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a big show for OffWorld 2.0.
What's going on, Joe?
Immediately after. Yeah, I know. Immediately after the announcement of the Four Horsemen's new wave, we will have a show to discuss it immediately after with a boatload of guests. So many big names, I can't even say them all. But
yeah,
trust
we're
me,
gonna have a full screen, so that's for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time.
Well, I know they're no longer here, but we did promise to play the intro again since Van missed it earlier. So we will go ahead and play the intro. And then if he checks this out in the morning, he'll see that we kept our promise and still played the intro. So there's going to be like a little 15-second kind of, countdown. And then you'll see the intro. And then that's it. We'll be done. So have a good one. We'll see you next week. See you on the after party. Yeah. Love you guys. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Laredo, take us out.
Take her out.
Every Friday night, join the fun and let's go off-world. buckle up and let's go off-world. Toys, comics, pop culture news.